guys, what is up? It is your boy HOTSHOT here, and today I have managed to prestige in Grid 2019. Now, one of my good friends told me about the leveling system in Grid. Now, so how it works is you obviously start from level 1 and then you work your way to 99. So once you get to level 99, you obviously pass the bar and then you prestige. And then because every time you start off, your color changes. So I believe when you start off from level 1, you start off in the red category, then I think it goes to green, then to blue, then to purple, and then once you prestige, you go back to level 1, but then you become gold. Now, I believe there is, at the moment, I know that there's 5 prestiges, and the max level is 99. Because after the first time you get to level 99, you max out. So that's what I know about the leveling so far. Now, since I've been playing this game for quite a while now, another thing is obviously you have your different style of vehicles. So you have your different class of cars as well. So you have your touring cars, you have your stock cars, which are like your muscle cars for the stock. And you also have your touring, which are like your Ford Focuses TC2, your Volkswagen Golf GTI, and your Subaru WRX, and so on. You've also got tuner cars, which are like your done-up Mitsubishis, your Mazda RX-7, Nissan GTR. And also you got your GT cars, which are like your more faster cars, like your Corvettes. You've got your Viper, the Viper cars. You've got your fast Ford GT cars, Porsches, Porsche 911 RSR. You've got Ferraris. You've also got you've also got the real super class cars. So you've got different class cars that you can use in the game, which are pretty cool. So you've got quite a good variety of cars and classes to use in the game. Now, the other thing I've come across is when you're racing, the apex can be very, very slidey on this game. Like, you have to be very careful when touching the apex, when using as much of track limits as possible in this game. Plus that, I've come across that the AI do have a tendency to want to brake quite early, and obviously if you hit into an AI driver too much and he gets aggressive, he will try and basically go out of his way to hit you out of the way because you pissed him off, basically. And yeah, that's how the AIs can be, and I sort of feel like if you're trying to go for a maneuver, I kind of have the feeling like the AI knows you're trying to go for a move, and they sort of like go off to that side. So the AIs do kind of annoy me in this game, but especially with the multiplayer, I don't understand why they added AI into the public multiplayer. When obviously multiplayer is you want to play with other players. You don't just want to play with the AI as well. I want to play against just other players online.
Last lap, so hold the lead through to the end now.
And I feel they've also missed out quite a lot with the online. I wish they would have added the custom lobby set. Like what I'm trying to say is like I just, instead of hopping into a quick match, I wish they would have done it where I can search up what specific lobby I want to go into for what certain class car, and go in with that certain thing. Like if I just want to do touring cars only, I can have the choice just to go in touring cars only and drive with other people just for touring cars. But they only give you the option to do quick match, which is just hopping in with other players and doing all different types of races. But obviously you have the private match, which is, where you can do all your own stuff, but you still get leveled up in private match if you have friends and all that kind of stuff. So I hope they do add that feature in multiplayer. I hope that would be good to have that option to customize what you want to go into for public match wise. So that would be good. Another thing I hope they add is drifting. The original Grid had drifting, and that was so good to have. And I can understand if, not adding drifting to campaign. I can understand that because obviously most people either don't like drifting or are not good at drifting. But I wish they would add it as an option to add drifting into the game. I know they have drifting cars, but I hope they add drift events, because that would be good to have. Because, doing drift events, tandeming with other drivers online, that would be so good. That was the good thing about Grid Driver, which made that game really, really good. That was great. I at the moment I've come across a few bugs online. They're probably obviously going to fix them. I've had issues where the AI will just randomly teleport around the track. There's been issues where people will start before others on the track, and people will have a time that is ridiculously fast, 4 seconds or some shit. No, they're no, they must have fucking nitrous on their shit.
Welcome everybody to today's event.
Kristen,
what are we in for today?
But yeah, that's the thing. That's in there so far. Now, buying cars and customizations now. So obviously, when you're playing the campaign or doing online, you can get access to money when in-game money. So when you win races, you get money, and depending on where your teammate, you get money. Now, obviously, when you're playing the campaign, you can buy whatever car you want, and obviously have a look at the power or the weight of the vehicle. Now, if you're going to be playing online, each class will give you a car to loan if you want to. If you don't have enough to buy the car in that class, but you lose out on some currency for winning each time. So that's what will happen. But if you decide to buy the vehicle, the only thing you can do, you can't fully customize the car. You can't change the bonnets, the spoilers, you can't do up the car. The only thing you can do to the car is just change the paint, change the color, and that's all you can do to each one of your cars. And obviously with trying to get more money and more XP, you can also buy better teammate drivers. Obviously, when you start off with the game, you start off with obviously a teammate that's not as good, but as you progress and level up, you can spend money on a better teammate driver to also help you get more money and more XP into the game, which is good to buy obviously more vehicles and make them look good and make them look pretty and shit. So that's all you can do with the cars really, is just make them look good and just buy them. That's pretty much it. There's no doing them up. You can choose to change your settings. If you're not happy with what the settings of when you're driving your vehicle, you can tune the car, or change the settings, have traction control off and stability control. Now, obviously, if you're going to have the settings off, traction control and stability control, you're going to be quicker than other drivers, but obviously there's a downside. You're going to have more, you're going to have more sliding issues and just more sliding. Depending on with the power, but you are going to be quicker than other players if they don't choose to have that on. But I found it pretty good using no stability control and no traction control. I really, really do like it on this game. Because obviously, I feel it adds a tiny bit of simulation into it, tiny bit, just with the turning and the cornering.
Final lap.
But most of it's arcade. Most of it is arcade. I feel. So yeah. So obviously that's to do with the car customizations, your teammate, and obviously your settings that you want to have if you want to have that, and yeah. So. Now, weather. When it comes down to weather, I think it's pretty cool how they've done this. Now, I don't really use any other camera view, so I don't know what it's like using, you know, what it's like driving outside the car. But when I'm driving in cockpit view, and with the weather, and depending on certain vehicles. Some of the cars don't have wipers, right? So when it's raining, it's fucking hard to see. For any of you cockpit viewers out there, I find it pretty fucking hard to see when some of these cars don't have wipers. Because some of them have, I can't remember what it's called, but they have like them special front windscreens, don't they? Where like, you know, the rain can force it back up. But like, obviously when it's in cockpit view, it's kind of fucking hard to see when it's in the rain. It's not too bad when you have the wipers. But yeah, and also in the rain, you have to judge your braking a lot more carefully as well in the rain, which is really good. And without stability and traction control, it can make a big difference as well, depending on what certain car you're having in the weather, which I really like. And especially when you're driving in cockpit view and you have that sun glare, like there's some tracks when it's like when you're going around the track, you have that sun beaming. It's quite hard to see, which is a pretty cool feature to have in the game, but it's also a fucking pain in the ass because sometimes you're like, where the fuck am I going? And I just thought I'd let you guys know, for any cockpit viewers out there, it can be a little bit hard to drive in cockpit view in the rain than what it is outside, especially also in the dark. I feel it has, you know, it's a little bit more darker when you're driving in the dark as well, when it's in cockpit view, than what it is outside. And yeah, that's another thing. I'm just trying to also tell you guys, as much as I know since I've been playing this game.
Kristen, tell me what's gonna happen.
And yeah, and I've really enjoyed this game. I've come across some, you know, some fun online racing against other people. Great communities in this grid so far. Where you know, people have been coming across with, and yeah, it's been really great. Now, racing with a wheel. I use a Logitech G29, and I'm surprised how fun it is with a wheel, this game. And bearing in mind, I've not had my Logitech G29 for long. I've had it for a good few months, and the first game I ever used my Logitech G29 on was a simulation game, which was Gran Turismo. Now, this was my first time using it on grid, on an arcade game, and I am actually quite surprised how fun and good it was when using the steering wheel on this game. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. When I first set it up, obviously I had to calibrate it and stuff. It got me to like turn it 90 degrees and all that kind of stuff, and it was quite easy to set up and to get going with it. Now, when I was using it and I set it up, when I had it in the dead zone, when I was straight, like if I would turn it a little bit, it would feel like really light and wonky, but then when I would turn it would be a bit slidey. But overall, using this steering wheel on this game has actually been quite fun. And yeah, it's actually been pretty good. I found it quite hard at first to get used to, but it's actually really fun with a wheel. And if you do have a wheel, I suggest giving it a go. It is pretty good. The only thing is, I still need to play with the force feedback a little bit. You know, play with that a little bit and still do the settings on it. But at the moment, the way I've been playing with the steering wheel, I've actually been doing really well. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it with the steering wheel. With a controller, it's also good. It's also not too bad with a controller. But overall, with the steering wheel, when I've put the force feedback up, the force feedback's actually been pretty alright. It's been a lot more tighter when I've gone to put the settings up more, but overall I'm happy how good it is with the Logitech G29. So if you guys do have a wheel and you pick up the game, I suggest giving it a go with a wheel. It's actually really good. So yeah. But yeah, overall, I've had real fun with this game, online and offline. It's like I was in one lobby last night, and I just had a blast with a few random people online, and it was good fun. You know, a few dirty drivers here and there, but other than that, I've come across some pretty clean drivers, and it's been pretty fun. You know what I mean? So some, depending on the scenario, some people tap you. You know, you can pretty much sort of save the time when someone's hit you, which is pretty good. And you know what I mean. And anything can go in these kind of games if you spin out online or anything like that. It's been good fun playing with other people, and yeah, it's just one of them games that you can sort of pick up and have fun, and just, you know, it makes you look good. You know what I mean? When you're driving online, you're going around the corners, you're sliding. It's like some of the cars you can just whip them around the corners. It's really good fun with some of the cars you can use. You can just literally whip them around, and you know, just do whatever. And obviously, people online and stuff, it's, you know, anything can go. I've come across people online when they go around the corner and they just crash straight into the wall and stuff, and it's just a really fun game, and yeah, I've been really enjoying it, hammering it a lot, as you can tell with the fucking level I am. Gotta grind for that next prestige now, and yeah, but I think I've tried covering up as much as I can. I think that's all of it so far. Yeah, I think I've tried capping as much as I can, and yeah, I'm just hoping they're gonna add more, because obviously I've got the Ultimate Edition. They're gonna add more seasons, so they're gonna add more stuff into the game, which I'm hoping is gonna be good stuff that they add in. So you know what I mean, and I think you can buy the add-on season if you don't have the Ultimate Edition. I believe you can buy it on the store now to get the upgrade pass, so you can, you know, have the seasons that will be coming out. But like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Probably stay tuned for more grid videos, and yeah, please like, subscribe, and yeah, peace out guys. Thanks for watching.